There are three major theories for the cause of schizophrenia. The first theory is called the dopamine theory, and that's a theory that postulates that dopamine is related to an overload of dopamine activity, dopamine being one of the major neurotransmitters in the brain, and that it has to do with people who have too much dopamine. And in fact, all of the medications that are now commonly used for schizophrenia are really targeting dopamine and trying to bring dopamine levels down. However, this theory has now been recently supplanted in most experts' minds by the glutamate theory. And basically, the glutamate theory is that glutamate, which is also a neurotransmitter, has too low activity at an NMDA receptor. That's like one of the brain receptors that seems to be key to human functioning. And so now people are trying to develop, pharmaceutical companies are trying to develop advanced medications that act on that receptor, trying to enhance the glutamate activity. But then now there's the third and most recent theory of schizophrenia that's starting to take hold, and that's the oxidative stress theory. And there's growing evidence that oxidative stress itself, that is, people who within their brains have a great overload of free radical ionized molecules. And these are like pirates that can go and destroy things, like destroy brain cells or alter neurotransmitter function or interact with receptors. And one thing they've learned is that oxidative stress can mess up and alter the activity of that NMDA receptor I talked about that seems to be so critical for schizophrenia. So there are three different theories. Now, our role is to identify what a person's chemical abnormalities might be that affect those very neurotransmitters. And then we develop nutrient therapy, which usually results in reports of very nice improvement from schizophrenic patients. And so basically what we do is not necessarily instead of the psychiatric medications that people are taking, but our treatment works really nicely in harmony with these psychiatric medications. Most of our patients, after we do the psychiatric medications that they were already taking, together with our nutrient therapy, after a while, in most cases, the patients improve greatly, and then they usually are able to reduce their medication, and very often to the point where they only have a little bit of medication support, our nutrient therapy, and very often they're able to get along very nicely like this indefinitely and be quite well, and usually without significant side effects.